Welcome everyone back to weekly weather updates, and in today's video we're going to have a look at the latest from the live radar, run through the weather warnings, as we do have a thunderstorm warning issued for today in the northeast, as we do have slow moving showers with some heavy thundery showers mixed in. We'll have a look at the UK view, look at the precipitation and the temperature over the next 5 days, as we've got quite up and down conditions, some drier periods, but also some wetter periods as well, as we do see low pressure trying to come in off the Atlantic, but not fully moving in, and they're not particularly deep lows, so it's generally be a showery sort of outlook. Temperatures aren't going to be particularly great, with generally cooler, more North Atlantic air masses moving in. You may have noticed it in the past 48 hours, being a bit of a fresher feel, especially for those in the south and the east, where it has been pretty humid the last week to 10 days. And we're generally going to remain with that sort of fresher feel, with temperatures at best getting to maybe 21 or 22. As we look at the longer range in the GFS, GEM, Eastern WF and the ensembles, the pattern isn't looking particularly great as we head into early September. Once again, a bit of a battle between high pressure, low pressure, and at the moment it looks like we're just going to be stuck with weak and smaller pressure systems around, continuing this sort of showery pattern, again bringing the risk of some thunderstorms and generally pretty gloomy days as well. So do remember, if you enjoy my videos, make sure you like and subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter as well, the link's in description. So if you start on the live radar, you can see plenty of showers breaking out at the moment, scoring this around midday. Some more persistent rain into northern and western Scotland, but you can see the bulk of the showers now are into parts of England and Wales, and the heaviest showers will actually break out when we haven't got too many showers at the moment across the northeast. This is where the centre of the low is, so we're going to see the slowest moving showers here and the most intense showers, and that's why we've got a thunderstorm warning issued. You'll see most of these showers are moderate in intensity, but you can see some yellows and reds within the core of some of these showers, indicating some real heavy torrential mixed in with that. And some of them could become thundery as well as this afternoon wears on. Best conditions actually across parts of the Republic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and a few areas of southern and eastern Scotland, avoiding the showers at the moment. Now the temperatures as of midday are not particularly great. Look at that, temperatures really around the 20-degree mark at best this afternoon, with some lighter oranges mixing in. It's not that bad for end of August, but really not particularly great, especially after this summer, or at least the second half of this summer has been fairly poor, especially in terms of rainfall and temperatures not being much above 25 degrees at the best of times. So yeah, not particularly great, but it's not abysmal. It's all right, and it's especially if the sunshine comes out, it still feels relatively warm. If you look at the weather warnings, you can see the warning across the north and the east from 11 a.m. today until 8 p.m. Again, we're not seeing them break out too much yet, but over the next couple of hours could be quite bad in places. The big thing with this is it's slow-moving heavy showers and thunderstorms may cause some localised flooding and disruption on Saturday afternoon. Scattered, slow-moving heavy showers and thunderstorms are expected to develop by late morning and continue through the afternoon before fading during Saturday evening. While most places will see fairly small amounts of rain, again they are fairly scattered, so again there will be some brighter, sunny, dry spells within it. A few places are likely to see 20 millimetres in an hour and 30 to 40 millimetres in a few hours. Again, rainfall the biggest issue, but lightning could be an additional hazard. High likelihood, lower end of the impact matrix. Further southwards, we can still see some thunderstorms. This won't be quite as slow moving and as quite as impactful. And that's why we've got this warning issued in the north and the east. And if you look at the UK view, you'll be able to see these showers over the next 12 hours or so. You see, as we head through this afternoon, they really start to pop off around that 1 or 2 p.m. point in the northeast, but even further south with some quite intense showers just moving through a bit faster. As this evening and afternoon wears on, the showers should sort of degrade away around the 4 or 5 p.m. point, and they should start to wither away through the evening completely, giving most a dry evening. However, into tomorrow morning, we see a weather front approach from the west. It's fairly weak, but it will give quite a lot of widespread cloud in western areas and some light to moderate rain in places, and could again see some lines of heavy showers develop, perhaps convergent zones appearing as the wind direction changes from this new low pressure system moving in. As we progress through Sunday evening, a lot of that rain and cloud moves in and dissipates really overnight. And into Monday, we see more cloud spreading from the west and then another very, very weak weather front. But most areas, not too bad. A few patchy showers, some brighter spells. And you can see Monday's a fairly decent day. But it's not going to last, unfortunately. As we head into Tuesday, we could still see some drier spells in the south and east, but showers are returning, and we'll see more showers, perhaps even higher frequency of showers into Wednesday and into Thursday. So you can see it's not washout conditions, but most days are going to see the risk of heavy thundery showers quite widely, meaning that can't really guarantee any dry weather, maybe apart from Monday, which looks pretty decent at this stage. As I said, this is a result of weak low pressure systems. If they were stronger and more and deeper and more severe, then we would likely see big weather fronts moving in and stronger showers and more banding of these showers. So at least it's not like that. It's not proper flat strong westerly winds, but at the same time it's not particularly dry and it's not particularly pleasant either, as the winds coming in from the west will mean the temperatures aren't particularly great. You can see that the upper air temperatures over the next few days and the next week in general are going to be around the mid to low single digit. You can see warmer air mass moves in there temporarily through Monday evening, but again that's accompanying a weather front, so giving just cloud and rain generally. Into Wednesday, look at that, quite cold air arrives across the north and the west, with upper air temperatures down to 0 or -1, so getting towards proper autumnal sort of air masses there. If you do look at the max temperatures, you can see today at best we could get to maybe only 20 degrees, so it's a little bit down on what I thought yesterday. 18 to 20 degrees, so not particularly great, definitely a fresher feel. Into Sunday, temperatures could just about get to 20 degrees once again, but widely mid to high teens. Into Monday, again, temperatures could climb a bit higher, maybe 20 to 22, but we're really clutching at straws for anything warm here. Most areas still in the high teens, but that will be primarily down to drier day there on Monday. And then into Tuesday again, whereas dry in the south and the east could see 21 or 22, and into Wednesday, cooling down as that northwesterly wind comes in, back down to peak temperatures of 20 or 21 in the southeast, but most areas in the mid to high teens. Now, if you do look at the longer range now, we'll be able to see that this doesn't look like there will be much improvement. Now, the GEM yesterday showed a big low pressure system moving in, and there still is the risk of that, but the majority of runs have weaker low pressure systems around. Now, you can see the weak low pressure system with us at the moment, high pressure all around it, so we're sort of bang in the middle with unsettled weather. As we head into next week, you see temporary high pressure on Monday. That's why it's drier, for another weak low arrives. Perhaps another weak low moves there for Friday. You see next tropical system, very severe low pressure system moves into southern Greenland. Got a big storm system there, and it will shove high pressure our way for a couple of days, perhaps next weekend, before we see low pressure undercut the high pressure once again towards the day 10 period. This is where the GEM had quite a severe low. Instead, looks like more weak little cut-off low pressure systems spiraling around all the way to 384 hours of low pressure, weak low pressure that is, parked on top of us, plenty of showers and generally cooler conditions. You can see that for the upper air temperatures, not looking spectacular at all, generally around the average period, maybe slightly above average at times. But we are expecting cloud and rain, so it won't feel all too warm. And if we do have a look at the accumulated precipitation, look at that. Pinks and purples appearing, indicating most regions are going to see 100 millimeters or above in the next 2 weeks, which isn't crazy amounts. It's not complete washout, but it's far from dry either. That's definitely going to be a lot of rainfall around, a lot of potentially disruption in places with a lot of this rainfall falling in heavy thundery showers. If you do have a look at the GEM run now, again, to see if we've got something quite similar. Again, westerly flow moving in, brief high pressure on Monday, low pressure returns for the middle of the week, but we do see high pressure build in as that severe low moves into Greenland. But beyond that, towards day 10, as I said, low pressure breaks through and we see more cut-off lows developing, and it goes unsettled once again. and you can see cold air exiting out of Greenland, again not directly impacting us, but giving a fresher feel, especially to southern areas there, coming round the high pressure, and again not great conditions at all. Finally, if you look at the ECMWF, again, low pressure dominating at the moment, brief high pressure into early next week before more weak low pressure systems move in. It's a temporary high pressure towards next weekend. That could be pretty decent there. ECMWF has that around for a couple of days before at day 10, eventually low pressure tries to break through, but breaking through more from a northerly direction, so that would encourage much colder air to drift our way. You can see parts of Greenland and northern Canada now starting to really dip as we head into September with those upper air temperatures, but you can see generally quite a cold pool heads our way. And again, if we look at the accumulated precipitation, remember this only goes up to day 10, so it's always going to be lower than the GFS, but it still is fairly high across much of central parts. Again, close to the centre of the low, indicating lots of heavy thundery showers. Now, if you look at the ensembles, these are the latest GFS ensembles. You see upper air temperatures are below average over the next 5 days, and then maybe just about peaking above average or around average. Beyond that, precipitation isn't massive in terms of spikes, but there are definitely quite a few in terms of frequency there. Again, indicating quite a showery outlook, and they're not particularly organised as well. Again, perhaps some organisation around the 1st of September, but mostly it's pretty scattered, again indicating it's just a shower risk. If you look at the 2 metre temperatures, again, they're not looking particularly great. Maybe low 20s into September at best, but mostly high teens we're looking likely for the best conditions, as I said, with lots of showers around, making it feel cooler than that. The ECMWF ensemble members perhaps have a little bit more hope in the longer term, slightly more above average, but quite a few more precipitation spikes. Again, as expected with more ensemble members, but still it's looking pretty unsettled, maybe just slightly warmer in the longer term. And is it going to reflect in the 2 metre temperatures? Perhaps a little bit, a few ensemble members getting towards the mid-20s, but the majority are high teens, touching 20 degrees. So yeah, for the next week or two, it's going to be far from abysmal, but we're not looking at any continuation of summery weather into September. At the moment, it's looking likely to see fairly autumnal conditions, not horrible, but quite showery, quite unsettled, with weak low pressure systems pretty much parked over top of us or nearby for the foreseeable future. So hopefully we see things change. Definitely around that sort of day 7 to day 10 point, we see that temporary high pressure building. There is the risk that could hold on, and the models are overdoing the breakdown of that and they're moving away of that. But I think that will very much depend on that storm system that moves into southern Greenland, the remnants of that tropical system. We'll have to see what happens to that over the next couple of days, and that will very much have a deciding factor over how the jet stream does move. But we will have to see. At the moment, it's not looking great, not looking horrible either, just looking pretty typical, pretty average, pretty rainy as well. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. Make sure you stay safe today, and all those heavy showers and storms that could catch you out, they will move through quite quickly in the south, and they'll move through very slowly further northward, so do stay safe out there. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you again for another video soon.